Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. Today's date is the 18th of May 2026. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. I'm the narrator of this video clip and all the video clips on my YouTube channel. Obviously it's about my personal testimony and my court cases. My YouTube channel and anything I do on social media is actually exhibit for my court cases and my personal experiences out in public when I go out in public, my personal interaction when I'm interacting with anything to do with my personal property. So basically just getting you all into the mindset of my set of circumstances. I've definitely been used for illegal Commonwealth games called the Game of Thrones, obviously, but it's done through animation, like meaning I'm the original while other people are using substitute to animate, basically stealing my energy or using other people to study me personally, or but over a period of time it becomes very serious violent offences. So I'm the original of everything that I put on social media, obviously, and it's a real life court case and real life evidence. Okay, so keep me running in mind, I'm actually talking, I'm a victim. I'm the original of a person that has been animate or inanimate. It's there's nothing in law that actually allows anyone to do what they've done to me. So it's illegal what everyone has done to me. So I've been denouncing anything that is a reflection or linked to my safety. When I see people coding, because I've been coded and I've had to do that because it's actually a breach. It's illegal what people are doing if they are doing ads on TV and in reference to a game that links to court cases or money laundering of any kind. Today on my heart, I felt to go over the harassment laws because I know a lot of people are oblivious to the actual laws, or what would you classify as stalking, or anything that's not safe and it's not natural. No form of stalking is legal. It's illegal to be stalking anybody, even just standing around loitering, like just standing around pretending to, for no reason for being at that place, but that's called loitering. So that too is illegal unless you've got a reason to be there. If someone suspects you're there for the wrong reason, that can be classified as harassment. So I just wanted to show you, it's actually 2 years imprisonment for civil harassment or any kind of harassment. As you know, while I was working for my employer, I suffered harassment 24/7 while I was working for my employer. I was being followed even wherever I went 24 throughout the day, even just going to the ladies. I knew I was being harassed and they were listening to everything that I was doing while I was working, many phone call conversations. It is what you call harassment and breach of privacy. But I just wanted to go over what is civil harassment and how you can deal with it. My personal experience, civil harassment is when people use their jobs, for example, they use their job for stalking or to micromanage somebody. And I have found, that is my personal experience, I have found that the road works, all of a sudden I've got these road works come out. And I have felt, just being driving wherever I'm going to my destination, people have used their jobs for that purpose, as more for a stalking kind of a tactic. So that it would be classified as a civil harassment. I've also witnessed people use their rubbish truck job, their job or rubbish trucks for civil harassment to indicate or do a message with their criminal harassment using their vehicles. They are using also their the license plate number. There have been times some of the license plate number I've had suspicion that they're not even belong to the car. It's all part of the civil harassment stage stalking. Now I'm dealing with an embedded situation because it's a global international. They've used me for a product for a very long time, so I'm able to actually describe my environment when I go out, because they come out when I'm by myself. Some days are worse than others, but I can actually detect whether somebody is meant to be, like whether their acts or their intention at that point of time is natural or not natural. It's just so obvious to me. However, that is what I'd classify as civil harassment, when your environment is contaminated by people who are there not for natural means, but is being carrying out other people's motives and intention. That is what you call civil harassment, and it has a penalty of 2 years imprisonment. Okay, so I'm dealing with people that are, because once your privacy's gone, they have used me like a product. They've taken turns using me, and people are quite hostile in their behaviour. For some, it's a Commonwealth game, because people likes, if you can get something for free for nothing, of course, why not? The thing is how they're doing it and their acts. It's criminal. It's what you'd call a criminal pact with the public harassment that I've gone through, because according to the law, I would be classified as a vulnerable adult, like I'm an innocent civilian, basically the victim in the law. So meaning they're in my space, I'm not in their space. But I just felt in my heart today, I just confirm that with you guys, so when you don't know what to do, when you get into a situation like I am and you don't feel safe. So where to find that? You'd find that in the legislation for harassment in the Harassment Act. So even to be going through any kind of harassment while you're working, that's illegal, but it is a 2-year penalty. So if you don't know where to find it, you need to go look under the Harassment Act. The best solution is to collate the evidence that you think you've been civil harassed. Like I have had people come out of their homes or just outside acting suspicious, or hanging around rubbish trucks letting me know I'm rubbish. That's what you'd call civil harassment. Those people can be done for 2 years imprisonment, whether they know it or not. If you don't know it, you know it now. If somebody makes a complaint about your suspicious acts linking to civil harassment, it's 2 years imprisonment. Basically, the police are supposed to investigate those kind of complaints. There's nothing in law that allows them not to. Okay, so but that is called, if you go into the harassment, you'll find it clearly explains what civil harassment is in the legislation. So the other thing is, if you are having issues with relationship scams, I have found they've dug up my past and then use my past against me, or they create some kind of Game of Thrones that I'm the property of my ex. Okay, so that is what some cultures have done, but what they're actually doing is they're digging up people's past to create a criminal harassment, and that's really serious and really dangerous, and that is exactly what they have done to me historically. So see, it says here, right here, to go over the harassment order. So it goes, he talks about the civil harassment. If you get any suspicion of people coming out of their houses suspiciously, they just happen to be there, I'm actually denouncing also the inciting on TV. I know when they're talking about me, I can put it up and people think, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. But I just know that what they're putting on TV or ads or whatever, it's because they've used my life as a game. Okay, so my government's in trouble because that's illegal what they've done to me, and because it's been going on for so long, and everybody that are a part of the game all knows that I'm telling the truth. But whether they know that their acts is criminal or not, it is criminal. But if you see here in this part here in part 8, clearly says here, every person who commits an offence against this section is liable on conviction for imprisonment for 2 years, not exceeding 2 years. Okay, so usually you can get charged for that. And how it works, I mean, I know people lie, but there are ways of finding out if people are lying or not these days. And once they find out who's behind the criminal harassment, and the police is supposed to investigate that. That's why when you go to the police, it's actually their job to investigate it and come back to you. So then, if need be, then you can press criminal charges to stop the criminal harassment. But I have found with the civil harassment and with the game everybody has used me globally for, they're already in my space. I sometimes go out, they're already waiting outside, loitering, or or just happen to be there. And I'm talking about, you're talking about, they've used me for money laundering. There's a lot of money at stake, obviously linking to my court case. They have won nothing. They have not won any of the cases I've had against the Crown. I've won all of them, every single one of them, and I want them all turned over. Obviously, but they've turned my life, or my life, into a game, my love life into a game. But the people that are doing the stealing, they're also fighting for their liberty, but I mean for their property, but they're not the victim, they're the criminals. They're in my space using all the criminal tactics to win and get away with serious violent offences. But so that is, you can get a restraining orders against individuals or anybody else that you think may be using other people to carry out their acts. Okay, because I mean they behave, once you're being micromanaged by the public, it's actually civil harassment what the public are doing. It's dangerous because they're not there because they're there for natural reasons. They're there because they're a spy. Sometimes I feel the hostilities. People don't like you and they want to let you know they don't like you. And we know serial murderers and killers and cyber syndicates always want to have the upper hand of everything. But I just think what they're doing are actually acts of terrorism. They like to threaten the victims to make them scared, or to force them or stop them from doing something. So I'm just going to keep on denouncing video clips and stuff like that as they happen. We all know that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. So obviously I'm dealing with people who have actually stolen lots of money from me or used me for pecuniary advantage. As time have gone on, I realize I am actually obligated. I really am obligated to God to legally complete my court cases and prove that people have stolen. I want to find out who stole funding money using my identity. That's not hard to find out. And who stole from my bank accounts. That's my right to find out all those things, because I know that they've used me for money laundering historically. They've also used me for relationship scams. So whether just because of this game, the defendants in my case honestly must think that they will never be made accountable. but that's not true. Like in the real world, my real world of laws, those are very serious violent offences, and it's actually it's really easy to make people accountable for perjury and for sabotage or anything. Okay, so if you obtaining by deception, animating me and using me for pecuniary advantage, it is a crime, because there's been a great loss on me, loss of property, and just not being able to advance because these people are embedded in my situation, and that's very, very noticeable. I'll just go on to what I've got on my Facebook page. So this video won't be very long, guys. I just had it in my heart to go over the harassment, because I know I'm subject to it right now. I know I'm being micromanaged by the opposition, but it is getting better out here. But I'm just very alert. Like, everybody knows who I am because the government has turned me into a product without my consent, and not just for New Zealand. Actually, they've used me globally. So this here,
Fall in love with your home again with an ANZ Renault loan. Switch today.
okay, why did I choose that ad? I chose that ad is because of my personal situation right now, and I believe that wasn't inciting to let everybody know what I'm doing, and it linking to Henry Cavill. I have to say, for those that are watching over my situation, his situation is actually quite serious also. And I understand where he is coming from, because I've been going through too with the loss of property, and just my environment is contaminated. So his situation is not good at the moment, and his mum's not well either. But because of the AL and the Hollywood ways of how they're defaming, doing, what do you call it? They're using AL. AL is like they can do anything. They use people's pictures to make something become real when it's actually not real. So I've had to denounce all those public innuendo, because it's actually ruining and making him not safe. He hasn't been safe for a long time. We're both actually in the same boat. But why I denounced that ad is because what I do in my private life, you go and ring and you apply for things online or whatever it is, but the intimacy and the breaches, these people are tipping off the public of my activities, and then I'm being micromanaged by the opposition. I feel like I'm enslaved by the public, and I don't know who's initiating it, but that is what you call civil harassment. Okay, so I've had to denounce, and I'm going to keep on denouncing ads, because that is a breach. And for the sake for anyone else who is unaware of their environment, now I've done a research also to do with Geneva Conventions, It's quite interesting. If you read what I've written, I did a little bit of research on it because I'm learning just as well as everybody are, and why these laws even have come about. But my case is so bad, and I would say the same for Henry. Our situation is actually very similar, where our properties, our private, like we've both been used for public money laundering purposes, where our property's been stolen or our identity has been stolen, and other people have been living off our identity that doesn't belong to them. And they're fooling the public and even putting things on social media to indicate that he is in a relationship with those other women when he actually isn't. But in real life, he is. His situation is not good. And it's quite not, like, all I can say is not good. And I'm just praying God will change his situation soon. And yeah, but we are very, very, very close, and I feel God brought him in my path for this very reason. Oh, this is our challenge of what we're both going through. But Geneva Conventions is a very serious international treaties going back to 1949. But obviously a lot of cultures and religions, they all have their own beliefs or whatnot. And to them, what they're doing to me, they think it's normal, but it's actually not normal, because of my rights as a human being. And the fact that they think they can just go and capture another human being and do their research and dig up their past and do what they've done to me is inhumane. It's illegal, basically taking away my legal rights as a human being. So I stand against all that. I'm waiting to hear from the Court of Appeal, and once that case is resolved, or whatever the outcome is, I know that the government linking to my court cases are inciting, and I sometimes have to denounce that because it's my right to. But a criminal case is actually established, meaning this probably would be the last chance that IPCA and New Zealand Police, put things right and put closure to it. Otherwise, it will go to the criminal jurisdiction. In my heart, I feel it belongs in the criminal. In my heart, I feel they still need to be prosecuted, because of the seriousness of what they've done to me. Because this here is definitely, my case falls in this category, because there are people in my private life historically linking to everything that I've been through that are now dead. And I have a reason of belief it all links to the money laundering to do with Unison Dance Crew, and also the thievery of my bank accounts. I know that somebody has stolen heaps of money from that, and people have actually literally have trafficked me for money laundering. So I stand against all that, and I think I will end it there for now. But it is definitely a criminal case. I'll leave it there now. I just had it on my heart to talk on about the harassment. It is getting better for me. I've actually moved and I've settled in a nice little apartment right now, and I feel safe in my own space. I'm happy to have my own space for now. But I'll keep you all up to date with my court case, and at the moment I'm just waiting to hear from the courts. A hearing date has been set down to be heard before two judges, I'm not going to, I don't feel in my heart to reveal who they are at this point. But I've got a good feeling that that we may come to a decision, a good decision, is what I'm hoping for. Other than that, I will let you know whatever happens, well, whatever the outcome is, because I know that my case is definitely international public interest. And also I just felt in my heart that my case is a very good case to help other people protect themselves and what to look out for with public scrutiny and civil scrutiny, knowing the difference. So civil scrutiny is when it's like a global thing that I'm going through, and you can feel it. They're using their cars, so be careful when you go out there. Just look out for the signs, and you'll just know. If you're sensitive to your conscience, you'll just know when something's not right. Don't ignore it. Safety first is what I would advise. And just take evidence. And if you don't feel safe, just take evidence. Do what you got to do to protect yourself. Okay, thanks.